Hello, so creative. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Hands of Casey April. I want to thank all my subscribers. You guys are the best. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do wait to subscribe and turn up your notification bell so that you get notified when I upload a new video. In today's video, I will teach you how to cut and sew a trendy bustier crop top with halter neckline. I have my materials already. I'll be making use of this one for the front, while this one for the back. I also have my cotton lining that I will use and turn the main material. So I will start with the front. This is my starting line. So from here, I will be minusing 7 inches before I will mark my basic lines. You can minus 6 inches depending how covered you want your bust area to be, or you can come down by 8 inches. It depends on your choice. But for this class, I will be minusing 7 inches. From here to my bust point is 11.5 inches. My under bust 15.5 inches, and the full length of the blouse is 20 inches. I added 1.5 inches for sewing allowance, making it 21.5 inches. So at the upper part here, I will mark my bust palm measurement divided by 2. So your bust palm is the difference between your nipple to nipple. The bust palm I'm working with is 8 inches. 8 divided by 2 is 4 inches. And I will add extra 0.5 inch for sewing allowance. The reason for the 0.5 inches is because I am cutting directly on the fabric. So this place is my bust point. You can label it under bust and the length of the blouse. So at the under bust here, I will mark the dart intake of 2 inches. So at this side, I will be marking 0.75. At this side, I will mark 1.25. But if you are at a smaller bust, here you will mark 0.5 inches, while here you will mark 1 inch. 0.75, 1.25. At the nipple point here, I will come down by 0.75. The reason for the 0.75 is to avoid pointiness at this area. So at the upper part here, I will mark the dart intake of 0.5 inches here and 0.5 inch here. So the next thing I will do now is to take the body measurement. Here, I will take my bust measurement. The bust I'm working with is 43 inches. 43 divided by 4 is 10.75. I am not going to replace this dart because I want the blouse to be fitted. At the underbust here, I will take my round underbust divided by, for the round underbust I'm working with is 35 inches. 35 divided by 4 is 8.75. And I will replace this 2 inches that I will replace it here. My waist is 35 inches. I have the same measurement with the round under bust. 5 divided by 4 is 8.75, and I will replace these 2 inches for that. The next thing I will do now is to add my sewing allowance. So I will be adding 1.5 inches for my sewing allowance. At the round under bust here, I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. And at the length of the blouse, I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So if you take a good look at the picture, you will notice that there is a shape at the front neckline. The shape is a V-neck shape. From this half inches, I will come down by 2 inches. So from here, I will go in by 0.75. And from here, I will connect to these 2 inches. Remember, if you open it, what you have is 1.5 inches because the material is folded into two. So I am through with the front pattern. The next thing I will do now is to cut the lining. So I am going to reduce the lining by 2 inches. From here, I will go up by 2 inches because I will be using the lining to turn the damp part of the blouse. So I'm through with the front part of this blouse. The next thing I will do now is to cut the back. So this is the back of the blouse, and this is my starting line. Remember, from here I come down by 0.5 inches. So at this line, I will minus 7 inch to get my under bust. Remember, this is a crop top, so I am not making use of waistline. From these 7 inches, I will get the full length of my blouse. The full length of my blouse is 20 inches, and I added extra 1.5 inches for sewing allowance, making it 21.5 inches. So the next thing I will do now is to take my bust span measurement. Remember, my bust span is 8 inches, and I add extra 0.5 inch for sewing allowance, making it 4.5 inches. So I will be marking 4.5 inches from here to the length of the blouse. So here at the length of the blouse, I will marking that intake of 0.5 inch at this side and 0.5 inch at this side, making it 1 inches. So from here, I will connect to this 0.5 inch. So the next thing I will do now is to extend this line. I will extend it. And from here, I will come in by 0.5 inch to avoid zipper bulge so that my zip will relax very well. So from here, I will connect to this 0.5 inch and to the length of my blouse. And the next thing I will do now is to take my body measurement. The bust I'm working with is 43 inches. 43 divided by 4 is 10.75. I will mark 10.75 here, and I'm going to add extra 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. Here I will mark my round underbust. My round underbust is 35 inches. 35 divided by 4 is 8.75. I'm going to replace this dart. What I have here is 0.75. I will replace it here. And I will add extra 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So at the length of the blouse, I am going to mark my waist circumference divided by 4. I am going to replace this dart, 1 inch dart. I will replace it here. And I will add my sewing allowance, 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So the next thing I will do now is to connect the lines together. This 0.5 inches that I mark here, I will replace it here to avoid shortage. So the next thing I will do now is to cut my lining. The next thing I will do now is to notch my zipper part so that I will not be confused when joining the back together. And I'm going to notch the upper part of this blouse, the back side. I will notch it. The next thing I will do now is to reduce the lining by 2 inches. Remember, I reduced the front lining by 2 inches. So I'm going to reduce the back lining by 2 inches as well. So the next thing I will do now is to move to my machine and join the back together. This is the back and this is the front. I will move to my machine and join this side of the back and the other side of the back together. I will do the same thing on this one. So at the front side, I am going to join the front. I will join this side with half inch, and this side I will also join this side with half inch. I will do the same thing at the lining side. So I will move to my machine now and do it. So guys, I have joined the front of the blouse. After joining, I notch and open press it. I do the same thing at the back side. I also do the same thing at the front lining. I join the lining and notch and open press. I do the same thing at the back lining. I join and open press. So the next thing I will do now is to use the lining and turn the front of this blouse. I will start with the front first before I will work with the back. So this is the lining. I will be placing the front of this lining will face the front of the main material. So after that, I will move to my machine and sew with half inches all through. From here, I will sew with half inch. At the V line here, I will also sew with half inch. After sewing, I'm going to turn the lining and top stitch. I will also do the same thing at the back. So I have turned the front with the lining. After sewing with half inch, I top stitch it. This is the V side. I also make use of my hemming gum at the V side so that it will stick together. I do the same thing at the back side. I use the lining to turn the back, also top stitch it. So the next thing I will do now is to use the lining and turn the down part of my blouse. This is the lining and this is the main fabric. I am going to turn the lining at the front like this. And this is the main fabric. This is the lining. So I will move to my machine now and sew with half inch. I will sew with half inch. After sewing with half inch, I will top stitch it. I will do the same thing at the back side. So guys, I have used the lining to turn the length of my blouse. I do the same thing at the back side. So the next thing I will do now, I will turn it back because I'm going to use the lining to close the two sides. Remember, I added 1.5 inches for my sewing allowance. So I am going to mark that 1.5 inches. From here, I will mark 1.5 inches. At this side, from here, that is the length of the blouse, I will also mark 1.5 inches. So before I will turn the lining and the main fabric, I will start from this 1.5 inches and turn it. This is the 1.5 inches. I will hold it with my pin. This is the 1.5 inches I mark. I will hold it with my pin. So I am going to sew here with half inch. At the other side, I will sew with half inch, but I'm not going to sew it to the end. I will leave like 3 inches so that I will be able to turn it to the front. I will use the same method at the back. So guys, I have turned the lining and the main fabric. So at this side, I did not sew it to the end. I leave some inches open so as I will be able to turn it to the front. And you see, this is the place I leave open. So I will move to my machine and close it. I use the same method to turn the two back. I have sewed the side of the two back and I have turned it to the front part. The next thing I will do now is to mark my zipper allowance. Remember, I added 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance and I have used the lining to turn the main fabric with half inch. So at the zipper allowance, I will be left with 1 inch. So I will be marking the 1 inch. So I will move to my machine and fix my zip. I will place my zip at the 1 inch that I mark and I will fix my zip. So before then, this one is my rope, the rope that I will tie at the neckline. If you take a good look at the picture, you will notice that the rope is very long. So I have I have 59 inches by length. It depends on how long you want the rope to be. You can make use of 40 inches or 30 inches. It depends how long you want the rope to be. But my customer wants it exactly the one in the picture. So the width, I make use of 5 inches for the width. If I fold it like this, I will sew with half inch. So after sewing with half inch, I will be left with 2 inches. So I will move to my machine now and sew it. Remember, I have two rows. So guys, I have finished fixing the zip. So the next thing I will do now is to fix the rope. So to fix the rope, from here, I will come down by 1.5 inches so that after fixing the rope will relax very well. At this side, I will come down by 1.5 inches. I am going to hold the rope with pin. So I'm going to place the front of the back facing the front of the front. So I will move to my machine now and shape the both side. I have shaped the two sides. This is the rope. Please, if you find this video so interesting, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share to your friends. Please help me to grow my ministry. Thank you so much for watching.